All right, in the next module, we're going to take a look at the aspect of where you are coming from, where you are, and how that is going to affect your relationship. You know, like I mentioned in two of my teachings, how we assess beauty is from the face. You know, we usually take a look at a man's face and say, he's handsome, I love him. It doesn't mean anything because you don't know that character, you don't know the spirit in that person. You take a look at a lady's face and you just admire her, you're admiring her, it's natural. It's okay for that to happen, but you cannot build any lasting relationship on that. It's superficial. You know, you first look at the face and then you begin to take a look at the other statistics. Say, okay, I like her shape, you know, the figure 8 and all that. But I want you to understand that that person you are meeting is coming from somewhere, has a history, has a past. Now, if this person was emotionally abused or was sexually abused, you don't know who. Could be the parents, could be uncles, you know, the significant others. Now, these things get stored up on the inside, and that person you are seeing, you are marrying both the past and the present. That person you are going to sign a lifelong contract with is somebody who has gone through things. So if you are really talking about love that is going to last, that you want to enjoy, then you need time. You need time. That's the real definition of love. If it doesn't have time for you to be able to understand how you can relate with this individual, how you can fit in or see, does this person need help? Or do I myself need help? Am I the one that had these experiences? If that cannot happen, then you need to do a lot of work. This is one of the reasons why people wonder what really happened. It's not that they didn't like themselves at the beginning. To start with, they didn't start the relationship so they can break up. You know, you didn't start the relationship so you can break up halfway. But you started it so that you can walk into the future together. You can have a life together. But what happens is we tend to cut the person off from where he or she is coming from. It is Cicero that said, anybody that disconnects from the past remains forever a baby. Now, I don't want that to be your experience. Now, this affects everything you do. Listen, human beings, we are creatures of emotions. We are virtually controlled by our feelings. We are virtually controlled by emotions. I pointed this out before, that it is these feelings you have towards things. You know, you just take a look at something, or maybe it's even the phone, the kind of mobile phone or iPhone. Your friend has an iPhone, or the new generation phones that are coming out now that are making BlackBerry a child's play. You know, you understand what I'm saying? Now, you take a look at it. It is the meaning, it's how you think about that creates the way you feel about them. Now, somebody like me, I own phones for their functions. I own phones for their performances and what I want to use them for. I don't own phones because others have phones or that particular type of phone. I don't envy you for your type of car. It's the functionality primarily. How is this going to serve me in my kind of... So if it is the kind of phone that is going to do what my computer can do for me, it's going to serve as a mobile computer. It's going to serve me as a mobile office. It will help me to do what I'm doing for you now, even when I have traveled. Then I like that kind of phone. It's going to help me do what I will be able to do with my laptop, connect me to the internet and serve in various ways, can help me, allow me to make snapshots, allow me to do some video recordings. Then that makes sense to me. So it's not because others have it. Now, you know why I'm giving that example is many of us jump into relationships because our friends have also gotten into relationships. Our friends have jumped into relationships. Listen, every time you see an individual, just remember this one thing: this person is coming from somewhere. Before you talk of committing yourself, before you consider ever wanting to settle down with whether a man or a woman, understand that this person has some belief system, had some experiences, had some upbringing, some encounters in his or her lives, has a way of thinking, has temperament that affects who he or she is. And that is going to affect how this person is going to relate with you, is going to perform in the relationship. If the only thing that is driving you is just the erotic love, is just the sexual relationship, is just the physical properties, I doubt if that will allow you to have the kind of dream relationship that you are expecting. It will not allow you to have to make a happy and lasting marriage which you are dreaming about. So the gist of this particular video is to help you know everyone you see came from somewhere, and you need time to be able to investigate before you invest your emotion, before you invest your time, your money, because any relationship that is important, any relationship at all, is going to demand your time, it's going to demand your money, it's going to demand your attention, and you need to understand that. Now, having said that, if you are the one that came from that kind of a past, and every time you remember that, it brings back that ugly moment, it brings back that painful emotion, you need to work on yourself. Now, saying that sounds like I want you to do something, to change what happened. You are not supposed to blame yourself for what happened. You might not have initiated it, might not have engineered it. What happened has happened. You are not responsible for the actions of others, but you are definitely responsible for what you do about what happened. Your own decisions, your actions, or your reactions, you are responsible. It's a choice that you make. Many times people who had very ugly past, maybe you grew up from an abusive environment in your childhood days, and all you were looking for is an opportunity to escape. Then you are seeing that might affect you, the way you see a relationship. Your relationship might be a means of escape. I want to escape my family background. Now, you also don't, you have not sat down to consider where I'm going. I'm also going to meet with human beings. Are you sure of how you are going to be treated there? So the most important thing is for you to be able to sort yourself out first. That is one of the things we help people do, to be able to assess their subconscious, to be able to assess their inner being. See, the soul of man is so vast. The soul of man is vast, is bigger than a city, is bigger than London. In fact, you can liken it to a city. And that's why one of the quotations I love from the Bible says that a man that has no control over his soul is like a broken down wall. Now, what does that mean? The real understanding you have from there is that in those days, it is the walls that were used as security for the cities. So if that is likened, your soul is likened to a city, it means that they are compartments. Now, having said that, there is a place where the city is run, and that is where you do your thinking. Now, where you do your thinking is what determines how you feel about what happened to you and what will happen to you. That experience does not in any way give you how to feel. It is how you think. It is the interpretation, the representation you have about what happened. That is what is helping you. That is what is causing you to feel the way you feel about what happened. So, what was your past? Did you have bad experiences? Were people always very harsh with you? Were you told so many times that you couldn't make it, or that you look ugly, that you were a failure? Now, if any of those things happen, you have a right today to decide how you want to think about those things. If you attempted things and you failed in them, you have a right today to decide how to think about that. It might not be easy for you to do it by yourself, but if you can, great. That's one of the ways. Is to go on self-discovery. Read up, explore. Go to the library, read from the internet. But if you want to accelerate that process, then I would advise that you become part of this mentoring program. Become part of this mentoring program, and within the 6 modules, one of the things we are going to take is to help you understand how to alter how you see the things that had happened to you. If you don't, this is what is going to happen. It might be the reason why you will permit yourself to fail in everything you do. It might be the reason. Now, one of the things you need to understand is, if you were used to always starting a thing and you don't complete it, you are likely going to transfer that into your own attitude in relationship. Or you are the kind of person who believes that if anything gives you some challenges, you abandon it. You are going to bring that into how you feel today. Yes, it's true, the relationship might get you excited. You might be excited about your friend, or just meet somebody you like, and that excites you. That does not stop. It doesn't alter who you are. You will take the core value, the core beliefs that you have, and these are the 2 things that are actually running your life. I call them the 2 pillars that are inevitable. You cannot do without them. You might try to fake it away or faith it away. You might try to pretend it doesn't exist. You might try to play the ostrich, but it's there. When you really come under severe pressure, which usually they normally come into relationships, and that is the time your real core value will come out. It does not matter your confession. You might claim that you believe in God, you believe in this, you believe in that. It is when you come under real pressure. Now, that's what happens when you put a fruit, when you put something like orange fruit into a pressure, you put it under pressure. What happens? It produces what it contains, the juice. Now, the pressure that is going to come on you is going to bring out bitterness or sweetness, depending on what is your core value. This does not sound very much like what does the Bible say? No, we are teaching principles. We're teaching principles. If your mindset is not right, if you don't deal with your emotional baggages, if you don't deal with your pasts, it will be showing up from time to time. Your past will determine whether you succeed or not. But let me tell you something good. Many people have used their past bad experiences, their bitter experiences, as the reason, the basis to fail in life and in their relationships. But I want to tell you, it has also been a motivation for people who know that they have a right to choose how they want to feel. It has also become a basis for people to succeed. Well, that's how far we can go today, but I just believe that this will help you. Take a look at yourself, sit down and write down the experiences you've had, or the way you have been living, the repeated patterns. Are there things you do? You start writing a book, you can't finish it, or you start a project, you don't finish it up.